Since I was young, I've always switched between things. I've always been this ambitious kid that would always want to do one thing, stick with it for like 3 months or 3 weeks, and then switch to something else. I remember my earliest memory of this was when my dad asked me what I wanted for Christmas. I think I was 12, and I said I wanted this new Nerf gun. It was $50. And he asked me, why should I get you this Nerf gun if you always switch and stick with something for 3 weeks and then want to do something else? And to his point, he was right. He got me the Nerf gun still. And 3 weeks later, I stopped and did something else, which was Beyblades. And I kept doing that, and I still do that to this day. I'm 18 years old now. But I've always had this ambition and this thought that the reason I switch between things all the time is because I've always feared that if I stick with one thing and get really good at it, then for some reason I'll be missing out on something else. So basically, if I take this path for a long time, say I'm successful or not, there'll always be another path that I didn't take that could have been better, or I could have been more successful. So I always had that in the back of my mind. I'm starting to degrade that thought and to get away from it, which was good. And that actually started when last night I was talking to, there's this ChatGPT bot that somebody made based off of Hamza Ahmed's principles of being stern and how he wants to run a business. And I basically just told it the story I'm about to tell you, and it's helped me to pick this business model that I really do enjoy, that I've been thinking about for a bit, but never really knew how to put the business into words and what I would be teaching you guys. But anyways, back to the story. So I was this ambitious kid, always switching between things. And I actually wrote down all the notes in this book that I'm gonna talk about real quick. But yeah, I would switch back between things. But also from an early age, people would always tell me that I was destined for greatness. They did this at my graduation. They did this when I was really young, like 12 years old, because I was always better than people. I was always better than most people at most things. Just because I cared a lot about the things I did, it was always trying hard. However, I wasn't the best. I was better than the mediocre people, like the 90% of people. But I didn't stick with something long enough to be the best at it because of my thinking in the back of my head, oh, if I take this one path, then there'll be something else that I'm missing out on. So I never stuck with something long enough to be the best, but I stuck with it and was so interested in it and kept doing it every single day that I was better than 90% of people. And because of that, I would always get all A's. I finished high school with a 4.0. And I just did. And it wasn't the hardest thing, but it was like I was better than the average person, but I didn't try hard enough in the classes to really retain the knowledge. I was just doing it for the grade. That's it. To basically make my parents proud, because my parents were saying they want me to keep a 4.0, and I was like, all right, I'll just do that. Not to say I was the best in school, but anyways. And then people were always telling me I would be great at things. And I would believe them, it would make me feel good, but truthfully, I didn't really believe that because, like I said, I never stuck with one thing, and I knew that. And it was kind of like a facade, like this outward projection that I'm putting on just to make others proud of me. But it wasn't really something I was interested in. It's just that when I find something that I like for the time being, I put all my energy into it. But anyways, then at 15, I learned about pornography for the first time. Not from looking it up, but actually from there was these kids on my soccer team, 2 of them. I'm not going to say their names. It was actually 3 of them. But literally every single day they would talk about the stuff that they would watch, what they were doing, and like they would just talk about it loudly in the locker room. Everybody would hear that. And everybody would just be laughing and laughing, but I would be laughing too, but I would subtly take notes on the websites they were using as well as the motion they did when watching it. Then a year elapsed and I was 16. I was making my PC, which again was another thing that I was interested in for 3 months and then went on to something else. But anyways, I was putting together my PC I got for my 16th birthday. And for some reason, just out of nowhere, I got this horny urge that truthfully I never had before. It was the very first time. And it was like my body moved in autopilot. Like I was sitting there for a second and then immediately knew what I should do. So then I just went into the bathroom, searched up the first site, and then did it for the first time. And it was this really weird feeling. I know I just watched a video on this guy that also had the story, but it was like, it felt unnatural, like, because it was the first time I didn't know what was going on. My body was shaking. I had no clue. But I liked the videos I was watching and the feeling a bit. And so for a whole year straight, I would do it every single day, sometimes twice a day. And that used to be a really big down point in my life, but recently, which I'll probably get into in a different video, I've actually been able to control that urge. It's probably been like a 3-month journey ever since meeting this woman that I met at a party, a feminine woman, which I really liked. But it was this uncomfortable situation that forced me to grow. And it's kind of hard to explain, but basically I was forced to talk to a pretty girl at a party. And I only say forced because there was nowhere else to go. So I just forced myself to talk to a pretty girl at a party. And then that is what made me open myself up and want to be better as a man. And because I wanted to be better, it was an internal desire for myself. Then I wanted to watch pornography and masturbate less. Yeah, that's a way to describe it. Probably gonna re-describe that in another video, but basically that's how my journey's been going. And so basically, I used to masturbate to pornography every single day when I was 16 and going on to 17. Then at 17 years old, like halfway through that, I met that girl at the party. And then I started getting away from the pornography and kind of just doing it to my imagination once every week, once every 2 weeks. And now, that was from 17 to 18. Now at 18 years old, I'm 18 right now, I'm starting to get away from even doing it to my imagination and just going 2 weeks, going 1 week, 2 weeks at a time, not doing it. So it's a slow progression. It's getting better. However, that is not to say I am not perfect. I will not lie. Like 2 days ago, I just did it. I got back from college and I did it like 3 times to pornography. So it's like, I'm not perfect. I'm still working it out. But it is getting better little by little, but I can definitely do even better than that. But anyways, so then at 16, I got a job. I was helping kids. I don't even know. I just wrote this stuff down, like my story of how I became more confident getting the body I want. I just wrote down everything from the starting point, ambitious as a kid, to now realizing what business I want to do. It's not even in order. I'll probably just make a new video trying to put it in order, but I'm just going to put it out on the internet right now, so I'm not procrastinating over it. But anyways, at 16, I got a job helping kids learn coding. It's at this place called Code Ninjas. Probably just in the US. I have no clue. But anyways, first of all, I taught myself how to code because that was one of those things that I was really interested in for like 3 months. So every single day before school, well, also before that, I actually taught myself how to write on a keyboard without looking. And that was, I think, a month. It took me a month to do that. But literally for 10 minutes every single day right before school, so I would get in early. And I would just sit there on this thing called Type Racer, something like that. And I would just practice. And I got really good at it pretty quickly. And now I can just do it. And then anyways, that helped me in the coding part a bit. But then every single day for about 3 months, I taught myself how to code Python and I think C, or it might have been JavaScript, one of those. But I know I learned Python. Still know a bit, like console dialog, whatever. And then I got a job at Code Ninjas, helping kids. Now, a lot of people say they don't like the work that they're doing at the job. They'd rather just like sit in the bathroom and waste time. I actually kind of like the coding, and I didn't mind it. The only thing I absolutely fucking hated was I was getting paid $10 an hour. There's this app that we had to download so like they could track our pay, whatever, and you can just see how much you're getting paid. I would sit there for 5 minutes and make a few cents. Like I would sit there and watch the cents go up like this. Like it was a little counter. It would be like 1, 2, and I was like, oh my fucking goodness, bro. I wasn't making no money but sitting there. And I was like, damn, I am wasting my time. But it's not like everybody on the internet, or a lot of people I see, is like they absolutely hate the work that they're doing. I didn't actually hate the work I was doing. I was just like, I'm literally getting paid cents a minute. Like it's just going up like this. It was so slow. I was like, holy fuck, this is horrible. That's the reason I quit that job. After I worked 1 summer camp and quit. It was like 2 or 3 weeks. Yeah, but that was horrible. And then after that, I knew I wanted to make more money, so I started seeing these people online on Instagram and TikTok making, I never really had TikTok, so it was more Instagram and YouTube shorts. I saw these people making $10K a month online with online business, and I was like, damn, that's something I want to do. And so when was that? 16, yeah, 16 still. I started my first online business, which was making websites. And so I had some success early on. I followed the Alex Hormozy thing and his $100 million offers where he says, talk to your relatives first. And I did. I didn't even know my uncle had a cheesecake business, and that was the first guy I reached out to. And I helped him out and was able to get him his first client literally the second day after the website was launched. So that was pretty cool early success. I told him I'd do it for free, but he paid me $50. It was pretty cool. And I helped 2 of my friends with their websites. Wasn't really successful with that. And then after that, I was like, oh, this isn't really working. So then I switched. The same thing, ambitious, always switching when something kind of gets hard or I'm not really interested in it anymore. It's not even when it really gets hard, it's just like I lose interest. So I switched to a SaaS, software as a service agency. And I was charging $200 a month. I got 1 client, but it was really like a scam. I wasn't really helping him. So I just paid him $100 back. But that was for 3 months. Then I was like, damn, this is kind of boring. I'm not really helping people. It's more like a scam. The SaaS as in and of itself isn't a scam. But what I was doing, now that I look back on it, basically was. So then I was like, this doesn't feel good. I'm going to switch. So I did content because I saw a lot of people doing personal branding. So I helped this personal trainer out. I actually got her 4 clients in 3 months. No. Yes. 4 clients, 3 months. I think so. 3, or it might have been 3 clients, 4 months. One of those. And that was really cool because I was like, damn, I'm actually helping her. So I was making the content and then I gave her the DM framework. And that was pretty cool. She was actually pretty hype. I still got that up on my Instagram in the reviews section. So that's awesome. That was working, and then I got another client that wasn't really helping her, and then I was like, damn, this takes forever. I have to make 30 videos a month, only charging $150. And then at that time, I also got a mentor, and he was basically telling me, bro, you're working for less than minimum wage. What the fuck are you doing? I was like, damn. All right. This ain't working. I mean, it was working. I was getting her clients, but I was like, damn, I'm doing all the work. I fucking hate this. I didn't even like the business model. I was just like, I'm going to do this for some money. But I wasn't even making money. Like he said, I was working less than minimum wage. So I stopped that. But I didn't stop it for that reason. I stopped it because like I stopped doing the work. There was just a lot of videos and I just stopped doing the work. So it'd go like a week at a time and I wouldn't make a video, then she'd be behind and I was like, damn, I can't do this anymore. Or I'm not gonna do this anymore. So I just gave her the money back, refunded her for the month. Then I switched back to the website business, making websites for roofers, and then stopped that. So see, always, even from an early age, liking one thing and then keep switching. And during this time, this 3-year stint of having the business from 16, 17, and now 18, I would always tell people what I'm doing. Like, yeah, I have this business, I'm doing that. And it would feel good knowing that I have a business at a young age. And people would always be congratulating me like, damn, that's so cool. Even when I was talking to the CEO or the founder of our school, Richard Graham, and we were talking, we all had dinner. It's this tradition at the school where we have dinner with him as well as the head of the school, the principal, and then the soccer director, because it's the pro academy at the Philadelphia Union. And I was sitting, so he was sitting here. I was sitting on the other side of the table, like right here. So we can look diagonal. People look diagonal naturally when they're talking. I haven't actually researched that. I just like figured that out when people just talk. Like it's not really natural to look straight, so you kind of look off just a bit. And that's where I sat. But anyways, we were even talking about the business and it was nice. And then after my graduation speech, the next day he congratulated me, walked up to me, we took a picture, and then he said we'll stay in contact about the website business for the roofers. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. But deep down inside, I know I haven't made any money with that. I stuck with it for a whole entire month, DMing 10 people a day. Got one person on a call, but didn't close him. I was like, I tell these people I'm doing this, but I haven't made a single fucking dollar. I was like, what the fuck am I doing? And it feels good because I'm telling people I'm doing something that seems pretty big. However, I actually haven't done anything. Or haven't had any success with it. And like I'm nowhere near where I want to be. And then, so after that, I stopped that business. I've been learning from Hamza Ahmed recently. I used to learn from him like a year ago. But it would be like that thing where I'm just watching his videos. Like he has a channel called Hamza Advanced. That's the only channel I subscribe to now. But he has his original channel, Hamza Ahmed, where it's like those videos with Jeffrey and the pictures. And I would just watch those videos and feel good and be like, damn, this is me. I'm like a Jeffrey. Then I wouldn't do anything. I feel like that's a lot of people, but it's not even like you don't do anything. Like you'll do some things for a few days and you'll feel really good. And then out of nowhere, like you just forget like what he taught you. And then you just go back to being normal for like a few weeks. And then you're like, damn, I want to change. And you do it again. But anyways. So I've been learning from Hamza. And so recently, like a few days ago, he made this video it was actually like a few weeks ago, but he made this video and he was like, if you were already a billionaire, or it was like, if money wasn't real and you were the only person on this earth, what would you do that would make you happy? And I was thinking about it for a second. I was like, well, recently I've been on this self-improvement path and I know I'm smart. I know that I've been working on myself and I've been making these videos on this channel to look back on when I'm sitting in a neighborhood I designed that I've always said that I drew. I never showed you guys. This is the neighborhood that I designed. I think I'm living in that one or this one. Maybe that one. That one looks pretty cool. I'll probably live in that one. It's got a gate. This thing, every time I think about this, I smile. But anyways, and it's going to be called Greer Grounds. So Greer is my last name, Greer. So Greer Grounds. Anyways, I always think about it. And I'm like, damn, I could definitely help young men become confident, build the body that they want, and become that man that they've always thought of, because that's what I'm doing right now. I'm building the body I want. I'm building the body I want. Holy. Building the body I want. Becoming more confident. Talking to women little by little. That's one thing that I'm still really, like, I want to work on that a lot. Talking with women. Like at the gym, whatever. I went to Williams college I'll be going to for 4 days. I did talk to a woman, but that's the main thing. But it's becoming more confident, learning how to speak with people, like network, building the body you want, talking with women, being able to attract them effortlessly. It's just all these things, just becoming that man that you've always thought of. And really what helped me with that is like shifting my identity already to that guy that I know I want to be. Like I talked with ChatGPT a lot about that. But I was like, damn, so if money wasn't real, I didn't have to worry about any money, then that's something I would want to do. It's just like I didn't know how to put that into words until I was like talking with ChatGPT about it. But that's what I'm going to do now. Help young men, 16 to 24, you guys, yourself. I keep saying you guys like there's multiple people watching this video, but it's literally only one person. So I want to help you. If you're 16 to 24 years old and you've always been this ambitious guy, like you know that you're destined for greatness, like you've envisioned yourself in the apartment, the penthouse you want to live at. You know the car that you want. Like for me, it's the Corvette Stingray. I want a blue one or a red one of them. I know I want a motorcycle. I want one so bad. I want to get one this summer. I'm going to get the R3 first, then the R7. Yamaha R7, Yamaha R3. I'm like, I envisioned myself living in an apartment in Boston, Massachusetts, the Sudbury. I literally went there a few weeks ago and took a picture of it. I'll probably put it in this video. I'm like, I know exactly what I want. I want to build a neighborhood like I showed you. I also want to build a playground with soccer fields, baseball fields, basketball fields, all of that. I also want to build a second neighborhood. Like I've envisioned all this stuff. I've had vivid dreams about it. I used to, when I prayed, I used to think about it, like envision it when I was praying at dinner. Like I've done all of the things. I know what I want. It's just like I've been having trouble figuring out I know what I want. I'm here. Like how do I bridge this gap? That's what I've been struggling with. But I feel like I figured out the business model because I'm doing it. I'm right here just a step ahead of you. But this is where I want to be and beyond. So I'm just like one step ahead. But now if you need some help, I'm making a program. If you just don't know how to get there, and I'm still trying to figure out how to explain it, but I know if you're on the same journey and I don't want to say below me on it because that doesn't make any sense, but you haven't figured out as much as I have, then I'll definitely help you figure out and try to clear up that confusion you have, because I know it's so confusing. Like you have it on the tip of your tongue. This is what I want to do. It's just so hard to explain to others and to yourself first. But yeah, making a program on that. I'm still trying to figure out how to explain this, but it's just becoming the man that you've always wanted to be, but you don't exactly know. Like the man you want to be is so dang great at basically everything. And it's kind of hard to explain the exact qualities he has. It's just, you want to be great and you know that you have so much potential. And it's almost as though like you're scared of your own potential, because anytime somebody asks you like, what's one thing or what's your best quality, it's like it takes you forever to think of it, because you're like, damn, am I good at anything? But when you look back or when you take a bigger picture, you figure out, damn, I'm actually good at a lot of things. Like for myself, I play for a pro soccer academy, Philadelphia Union. I'm good at storytelling. I have a great physique. I'm confident in myself, way more confident than I was when I was younger, but I still want to be more confident. And I'd say I gotten a little bit better talking with women, just learning things, like just do what I want. And kind of like the dynamic of what women like is so much different than guys, but I'm learning about it now. And I'm good at talking with people, like just meeting new people, dabbing them up and whatever. But it's like, anytime somebody asks me what I'm good at, I don't want to say anything, because I either want to sound humble or it's like I truthfully can't think of something, because in the back of my mind, what did I just say? I am afraid of my own potential, because I just know that in my future I will be so successful, not just money-wise, but like being able to help other people, young men, get to their dream life, because I know I'll get to mine. But anyways, yeah, I'm about to make a course. It might not be a course. It might just be like at the start. I don't want to make a course, but at the start, it's like one-on-one helping. So if you want that, I'll probably have a link below this video, but you can probably just like comment on YouTube. I'm still figuring this all out. But I definitely know how to help you. I just don't know if it should be like a website or if you just comment below, but I'll figure it out. I'll probably make another video this week, making this video but even better. But that's it for me. I'm gonna name this video I just looked it up. I just wrote it down. For the I'm gonna just go look at it again and then go write it down. All right, peace out.